Hello everyone. Well, just recently I picked this lock and gutted it on my channel, and then in my comments there's been a few people that were having a little trouble reassembling this lock. So I thought I'd make a quick video, hope it's quick, and we'll take it apart and reassemble it. So okay, we're not going to pick it today because we've already done that. So anyway, first thing you got to do is open it up, and then on the back you're going to need an Allen wrench, and this one is a, let me look at this here, it's a 2.5, and this is metric, of course. Now so I'm going to take this screw out, and I'm going to try to keep my hands out of the way. And when you do, it's a pin that actually goes through and holds the shackle on. So I'm going to put that in my tray so I don't lose it. And then you pull the shackle out. So you don't have to be afraid of this lock, guys. Just jump in both feet and don't drown. Anyway, so when you use the key and turn it, it pulls that ball back. Got your both ball bearings in there. It pulls that ball back so that you can get this spring out. Just like that, okay? So you don't have to fight with that. And now, down where the spring was is another screw, and you're going to need another Allen wrench, and this is 1.5. And I lied to you. The first one was number 2. No, I take it back. I was right the first time. First one was a 2.5. Hope I don't confuse you. And the second one then is a 2. Okay, so I'm 11. And I'm going to try to get this light in here a little closer so I can see down in there, because it is pretty small. Put my other glasses on. Okay. Now, I'm going to take this screw out. And several people have mentioned they've bought these locks. So once you get them apart, you gotta put them back. Okay, there's the screw that was down in there. And it's got a little locking washer on the end of it, as you can see. And it comes off, so. Okay, now I'm going to let go of the key. Didn't have to hang on to it that long, but here's the other part. Take this key out. Here's the other part that came out right here. And you all have seen those before. Now we're going to take the plate off. Right there. And then there's a spinner plate for drill protection. And then we're going to pull the cylinder out. Well, before I go that far, let me show you. On the back of this plate is a little steel ball. So you want to be careful, because it can fall out just like that. And that's where it goes. Because if it comes out and you didn't see where it went, you're going to be wondering all over how to get it back in the lock. So that's that. Okay, now we're going to pull out the cylinder like that. We're not going to gut it today. I've already got it in my other video. Now down in here, you got your bypass. Now see, that ball bearing just fell out. That's no big deal. That came out of where the shackle, where the spring was. So we're going to set that right here. Now, down in here, we got the bypass wafer. And it's a nice one, it's nice and thick. See if I can get it out. Right here. When you put that back in to reassemble this lock, you just got to make sure it's in the right position so that this cylinder will fit in there just right. Otherwise, when you put the key in to turn it, it's not going to work the locking balls. So, okay, so we got that, and I don't, trying to think of what other question it was somebody was asking me. I hope that helps, but if not, I'll get back with any questions you guys have. So now the first thing I'm going to do is take the wafer and put it down in there. And there's kind of like a little groove where you can see. You might have to fiddle with it quite a bit to get it right. It's probably the hardest part right here, getting that thing in there. And then where the actuator on the back of the cylinder fits correctly. Now what you can do before you put it all back together is put the key in there and turn it and see if it gives you resistance. If it does, it's in the correct place. And so it is, and now I've got to get the key out. This is kind of the hard part without pulling that cylinder out. Okay, now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to put the spinner back on. And it just sits right on top. And then we're going to put the plate on. Now what this ball bearing does, it's kind of weird setup I think, but it works. And the reason for that is to balance out. It lays right on top of where the top of that cylinder is, and balances it out straight so it'll all fit together right. Okay, so now it's flush, so that means it's in right. Okay, now we're going to put this guy back in there, and you got to turn it where there's like little wings on the sides right there, and they have to fit in that groove just right so it's flush. Okay, just like that. Okay, now we're going to turn it over, hold that in with your finger, and we're going to put this screw back in there. It's really not that hard. It's just once you get it all apart and look at all those parts and stuff, you're like, oh boy, but it's not really that bad, guys. Okay, now I got that tightened up. And if you want, you can try the key out, but it won't. Even when you put it together and lock it up, see, I feel tension, so everything's cool there. Now, we've got to get the ball bearing back in there. No biggie. It's actually probably the easiest. Really, I should have kept the key in there. I'm sorry, I'm one step ahead of myself. And the reason for that, that'll withdraw that ball bearing right there. So you can get the spring back in. And you can just kind of push it down on the desk and put your spring back in. If it doesn't feel like it wants to just fall right in there or something, you can always take and just kind of turn it so you don't screw the spring up like that. Okay, and then take your shackle as you're holding everything and push it in there just like that. Okay, now not too far, and come back up, wiggle it back up so it goes into both. Okay, now you take this guy, your pin that holds the shackle, put it in there, take your other Allen wrench and go ahead and screw that guy in there. Now that holds the shackle in. And there we go. All back in business. So, if you have any questions, please leave them down below. And I'll try to get back with you on if you have any more comments or any questions. Thank you for joining me today. Come back. See me real soon. Bye-bye.